whenever you are. I freaking I had a crazy. I had like I don't know if you want to call it a dilemma, like an internal conflict today. It was crazy. I was on a client call. Well, even before the client call, kind of a major. It was a big deal.
Right. Okay.
And I'm saying to myself, dude, I got the tie in my hand. Literally a tie in my. I got the the dress shirt, clearly blazer.
Right.
Got the tie in my hand. I do not want to put this tie on.
Sure.
Have you ever been there? I don't know what it was. I'm like, I do not feel like being choked out. I'm being dramatic, right? I don't feel like being choked out. I don't want nothing around my neck right now. I already got this collared shirt on. I don't want to put this tie on.
Okay.
Fast forward, I talk myself out of it. Just my own personal, based on the seniority of the person that I'll be talking to on the call. I gotta have the jacket on, but like I gotta put the tie on. I'm telling myself.
Right.
Telling myself. I'm saying I'm even going far as saying I'm my own business owner. This is what I left corporate for, to be able to do my own thing and be able to. I'm talking to myself.
The Mark Cubans of the world, like he'll.
Yeah. I ain't got Mark money though.
Right.
Let's be very clear about
But he doesn't wear ties neither.
He don't wear ties either. And I got all that going on in my head. Like,
sure.
Nah, man, this is me. I mean, end up putting the tie on. My right hand to God on the call. The client begins to start telling me about, I run a recruitment firm. So, Torrance, I need you to find me X, Y, and Z, this person. In fact, somebody who presents like you, someone who looks just like you.
Right. Okay.
Mind you, I got the tie on. So
sure.
At this moment, I'm saying to myself, thank you, God, I put this tie on.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then I got to thinking, what if I didn't put the tie on? What if I didn't? What if I did not have the tie on? And in the client's mind, this is what professional looks like. So am I now not professional because I showed up to this meeting, clearly a meeting, without my tie on? So the question to you, Kiss. Okay. Mr. Corporate.
Do I look like I'm corporate right now?
Mr. Corporate on the Kiss and Tea podcast, episode 20.
Episode
20.
20. We rocking and rolling.
20.
Clearly.
I believe that's Spanish.
I mean.
Kiss and Tea podcast, episode 20. What is professional?
A lot of layers, man.
Corporate Kiss. That's your...
yeah.
Jay, you just hit me. Corporate Kiss. Lay it on us, Corporate Kiss.
Nah, I wouldn't. It's too many layers. You know what I mean? It's like, so let me take a step back. Let me try to dissect what the dilemma you had first, right?
Please. Thank you. Please do.
And I'll tell you why I agree with you that you should have you made the right decision of putting a tie on, but at the same time, it's one of those scenarios where you could have two point of views that are both right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So if you didn't have the tie on, at least in my view, and I'll tell you why, my rationale behind it, it would be a non-event, right? So, so you put the tie on. Your business partner says, "Look, I need you to find somebody that looks just like you," whatever case may be. Mm-hmm. I don't think that that person was focused only on the tie, right? So the reason I said if you didn't have the tie on, which would be a non-event, because post-COVID, okay, and you're talking a corporate kiss now, who stays in the suit because that my job requires it, right? Bro, I don't even wear a tie anymore.
You don't wear a tie?
I'm not getting choked. Okay,
right.
I'm not getting choked.
That's how I felt.
I'm not getting choked.
Feeling.
I am not getting choked.
Okay.
Now,
right. Okay.
If I'm gonna go meet a client, right? If the format from a respect level requires me to put a tie on, right? I mean, if I'm meeting with my COO, I'm gonna put a tie on, right?
A tie denotes respect, and I hear you.
In corporate America, it does.
Okay.
Right, and it doesn't even it stands just not for you extending the respect. It's like you're you're part of the machine. That's what the machine requires, to wear the tie, to wear
Now
the
we're
suit and all that,
getting
whatever
deep.
case may be. Yeah, I mean, definitely. You know what I mean? So it's like, to your point, I don't think if you didn't have it, your business partner would have said, Torrance, I want you to bring on somebody that looked just like you.
Okay.
Whatever case may
Okay.
be, right? I think, I think focus have shifted, right? Because of the pandemic. 2 years without wearing a tie. I mean, I remember when I got a new client, and again, this is right after the quote unquote height of the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm being introduced to this client via Zoom, and of course I have a white shirt on, I have a blue tie on, and she's like, "My God, I haven't seen somebody wear a tie in a year."
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think
Is
you know
the
what I mean?
culture shifting
Yes, sir.
to what professional looks like?
I think so.
The sort of the excitement over these tech firms and their cultures.
You hit it on the head.
Do you think that accelerated some
You
things
hit it
in
on-
terms of?
I mean, in my space, where clients are always looking for the modern workplace. You know what I mean? And that's culture first, right?
Yeah,
And that's
yeah, yeah.
culture driven.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
You know what I mean? So, it's funny because I was having a conversation with a client the other day, and that individual was like, "Listen, we have all this access space," and I'm pitching, well, listen, we could repurpose it, right? We could speak to the landlord, the property manager, see if we could, get some money back and all that. No, right? By my government, no, whatever. Okay, what are we gonna do? Let's get some bike racks.
Yeah.
Listen.
Let's make this place
Yeah.
so welcoming. These folks
Exactly.
don't want to leave.
Yeah, let's get some bike racks, whatever this, that, and third. To the point, it's just like, I think there's a shift in what's professional in terms of an image now, right? I think folks are looking more, at least with in my little vacuum, in my silo, folks are looking more for a result, whatever,
Okay.
right? However,
Yeah.
the hierarchy has it, at least in my view, they're not open to that, right? You better have that suit on, you better have that tie on, because that's what actually shows respect, that's what shows success,
Yeah.
all that, whatever
Yeah.
case it be,
Yeah.
right? And I'm being sarcastic as I say it, whatever case, because I obviously I don't agree with it, right? Just like the college degree mentality, you know what I mean? But I think it depends on who you're speaking to at that moment.
It's we're in a generational it's overlap. It's huge, a lot of overlap right now.
Oh yeah, yes,
A lot of overlap,
yes.
and that's why I struggle with this, because I literally fall on both sides of this coin.
Mm-hmm.
I see it from both angles.
I wouldn't have a problem with you. You're a business owner, multiple businesses, right? You're well in your right to come up on a Zoom with a hoodie on.
I want to.
You know what I mean? Well, this is my business name, this and that third.
I want to, but I can't.
Corporate T is telling you no.
I want to, but I can't.
Not you can't.
And
right
that's
now.
my dilemma.
You can't. So can I? Let me challenge you a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you had those M's that will be
Of course.
will be attaining shortly,
Of course.
would
Of
you put a
course.
hoodie on?
Of course.
See,
It right.
layers,
It's layers. Man.
layers.
I just don't feel like, you know what it is? I feel like I didn't earn the right yet. I feel like that's a right to be earned in this marketplace. That's just to be showing up in hoodies. Okay, are you Mark Zuckerberg? Do you have
Right.
Right.
But
But until then, what you gonna say?
again, the flip side of it. No, go finish your thought. Go ahead.
Now I want to know what you're about to say on the flip side.
The flip side, I would just say like, but I can
Okay.
because I built this company.
And that's okay.
It may not be a Amazon, but I'm sure I put in the same effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
I put in the same blood, sweat, tears as that third, and you're here on this call with me for a reason. So if I want to pop up in a hoodie, I can now. The question is, will that business still be there?
Okay, and let me tell you something.
Will that business be associated
That's
with you
all I'll
with
be
a
able
hoodie?
to afford is a hoodie if the business isn't there. And
Exactly.
So I'm reminded of a time when I worked in hospitality in high school and even into college, and we weren't allowed to have beards. We had to shave. You remember us where we worked at, and we always have to shave our beards because the general manager at the time would always say, "Yeah, you have to look. You have to reflect our guest, our client.
Right.
Of course, it always rubbed us the wrong way.
Right.
Because it's also kind of signaling to us like, okay, clearly we're not even
your client, right?
right. We're not clients.
Your client doesn't look like
clearly, right. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But I still understand the underlying point of, hey man, we here to do business.
Right.
There's certain standards and protocols that are in place that we don't want to. That's not a war worth fighting, if that makes sense. If I need to come up in a blue suit and a orange tie to seal this $1 million deal, well, you know what I'm gonna do? Listen, to not disrupt the flow of business, and that's just how things are kind of operating, and ain't nobody really getting hurt having to put a suit on,
right?
Then daggone it, I'm gonna put a suit on.
So
I'm not trying to disrupt business, okay? And that's why I put that tie on. I
understand that
this money.
I hear you. I hear you. Got to put food on the table, right? But I just think these requirements, right?
Yeah,
they boil over, right? So I'll give you two personal examples, right, with myself, right? So when I was taking managerial accounting when I did my short time in college and all that, whatever, right? And great teacher, right? And she's like, I think I'm good. I think I'm pretty good with numbers and all that, this, that, and third, right? So I always wanted to work for one of the big four, right? Account firms, whatever, I'm saying, whether it be Deloitte, whether it be, PwC, all that, whatever case may be, right? So she used to actually, work for one of the big fours, right? And she used to just say how, you would have to have the men in there. It's like, it's no uniform, but it would be uniform, right? Black suit or dark black, dark blue, this, that, and third, you know what I mean? Which was all good. If that's a uniform, whatever, right? But then, during lunch, you know what I mean, the line workers would eat with the line workers. The core folks, the revenue generated folks would eat lunch with with their folks, whatever. Sure. So it's just like the boiling over for me is like that's that separate equal segregation crap that I just think is just real dangerous. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I'll give you an example, that where I had to fall in line.
Okay.
My first job.
Yeah.
I had braids. You know what I mean? It was a mailroom job.
That's hilarious.
I had braids.
I do recall a time when you actually had braids, which is hilarious.
I had braids. And
I forgot about that.
And I'm going to come full circle with this, whatever case it be. And they're like, listen, I interviewed, I didn't have the braids, but I had a big fro. You know what I'm saying? And they came back, was like, listen, they loved you, but you got to cut your hair. Okay. I wish they would tell me that today.
Right. Well, they can get away with that back then when you... They can get away with that.
Exactly. Back then, whatever case it be. So I had to fall in line, you know what I mean? Like, need a job, whatever case it be. So obviously I cut my hair, right? But times are changing now. So it's just like, or are they really? You know what I mean? Because it makes me think like, now it's like...
Depending on the space you're in, I guess.
Depending on the space.
Yeah, Microsoft, I guess you can have tattoos on your face at this point.
Bro.
Or Facebook.
If you're in tech...
Yeah. You can come in mohawk, tattoos.
You probably come in drunk. You know what I mean? Whenever the work is getting done.
I mean, I've been at... They serve alcohol at some of these...
I've had accounts.
Yeah.
Okay?
They serving alcohol at these
They
places.
had a tap on the floor.
Right.
Because, that specific brand...
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like... It's their client.
Right. I know exactly who you talking about.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Nope. I know. I've been on that floor.
Yes, sir.
I've been on that floor numerous times.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so
them open taps.
What? I mean, but it is what it is. But it's just like, no. It's just, I think.
And where are we going? Okay, I think we're in a shift. Clearly, no one could show up with tattoos blazing. Even maybe I won't even say 5 years ago.
Now, right.
Now some folk can show a little tattoo and it's not all the way looked at bad.
So let me ask you a question. Sticking to what's the professional image.
Yeah.
Right. How does it make you feel when you're the consumer, right? And somebody comes to you, right? For instance, say you're in a hospital.
Yep.
And you're the consumer. Somebody got to get their you got to get your blood drawn, right? Nurse comes, guy or girl, whatever.
Talk to me. I already know. I already know where you're going.
What's your initial thought?
Initially is I have to talk myself out of this person not being qualified.
Crazy, right? Likewise.
It's just my
Likewise.
initial knee jerk.
Likewise.
They got a nose thing. Whoa,
Like we don't like we don't have tats. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But they're just brave enough to show it.
Well, that's the thing. You ain't gonna see mine if I'm in a setting. You know, you're just not gonna see them because I don't want to be I don't want them to be a distraction on what I can deliver.
Right. Corporate America, if they knew I had tattoos, like, come on. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, I keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely, you know, that line is there, right? But it's just like that bias. That
will it always be there, or is it slowly eroding?
That bias or that line?
It's always gonna be bias.
Think so?
We cannot not escape bias. We just can't do it. It's just impossible. We're human. That's how we process things. We create shortcuts in our own minds, and within those shortcuts, bias forms.
Agree with you. 50,000-foot view.
Yeah, right.
Definitely agree with you. Right. I think, you know, to a specific point in terms of that sleeve, and your initial thought is, okay, is this person qualified or not qualified? I think we could change that bias.
I hear you. I hear you.
I think we can change that bias. I don't know how we're gonna get there, right?
Time.
Because it's funny though, right?
Time.
I'm gonna tell you the bias, which is bullshit. Sorry, you know what I mean? Like, because when I used to go to a bar,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Homeboy would have a sleeve, or homegirl would have a sleeve. I'm politicking. Yeah, pour that drink. So I guess, you know, you're qualified to pour me
only
a drink.
in creative settings, only in bartender settings.
Exactly.
You got artistic settings.
You got a, you know what I mean? Like designer type stuff, whatever. Like
people being people.
There you go.
And I don't think you'll ever escape.
There you go.
People being people, and I think that's where we run risks in this interesting. I would dare call it just corporate setting, because this is, I guess, we're talking professional.
Right. But it's funny that you just said professional. You just associate already with corporate,
and that's what I'm. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I do the same thing.
Well, okay. Wow.
I do the same thing.
Okay? You can be professional at a supermarket. You can be professional in a medical office.
I
you
think
can
I'm
be professional
everywhere all
everywhere.
the time. I think I'm professional with my kids, right? I think I'm just a professional person, right? I don't think, you know, I think corporate America hijacked the word professional. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to ask the really dumb question. Now, what is professional?
Sure. It's like, I think professional, bro, is like how, at least in my view, how somebody carry themselves. Like,
okay.
Like, again, I'm speaking only for me.
No, but I think that's a good working definition. I feel
I'll give you an
a lot
example.
of folks, I feel like, would agree with you.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, I could probably hold my own, you know, with this attire, you know what I mean? The way I'm looking right now without saying a word, with like 6 dudes in a suit around me, just because of how I carry myself.
Mm-hmm.
You won't see a wrinkle, right? It's just how you carry yourself, you know what I mean? Collectively, you know what I mean? Just like, that's how you speak, how you address somebody, right? Do you move with class? Do you move with grace? It's all being professional. You know what I mean? This whole, you have to look professional. No, you have to be, your actions have to be professional. That's how I say it, whatever case may be.
So there's not a look element to it, or is it both? Is it actions and look, or is it?
For me, I think that's the bias. I don't think it should be a look to it.
No, I'm digging. I'm
right,
digging.
But right now there is a look.
Because let me tell you something. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I'm being completely transparent.
For sure.
You'll go to a Whole Foods. It'd be somebody with 8 nose rings, tattoos, the big.
Yeah.
And so courteous.
For sure.
Nice.
For sure.
Knowledgeable.
For sure.
Know exactly what's going on. Listen, they know what you're looking for before you even. Professional.
So I'm going to give you full transparency.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Years back. Scrap all that. Recently, right? Last year sometime. Interviewed a young lady.
Okay.
Right. She checked the boxes of, can she do the job?
Mm-hmm.
Can she evolve with the job?
Yep.
Was she professional? All of that.
But she had yellow fingernails.
The image and the optics was just off. Right?
We got to unpack this a little slowly.
Right.
Okay.
Just totally off. I don't think no one ever coached that individual. I don't think, that individual understood, at the time, whatever case it be, that the optics matter, right? So I had, some folks like, no, we're not. I don't think, she's a good fit this and third. Well, you're not the hiring manager.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward. I think that was the best hire. Oh, really? Right? But you wasn't gonna give this person a chance because they didn't pass the optics or the professional image test. You know what I mean?
So many people fall victim to
Who are you
that.
telling, right?
On both sides.
Yeah, definitely.
On both sides. So many people fall victim to that.
Definitely, but I think I love the way we said, what's professional?
That's right.
It's not. It should not just be. It shouldn't just be image. That's just too narrow. You know what I mean? It's just like, but to your point, it is part image.
It's to the degree of, yes, you got to have some technical skills to be able to get this job done. But far and too often, I hear the term, "Can I put them in front of a client?"
Understood.
That's when you talk business.
Understood. Yep. And the first thing they're gonna do is size you up from a optics standpoint.
This perpetual cycle of what is professional.
Right. It's funny you say that, right? The cycle, because if I ask for a manager,
Talk to me.
Okay.
Talk to me.
if I'm in a restaurant,
You better not come out looking like him, her, or her.
yeah,
You better look different.
exactly.
You better
right?
look different.
Right. But then you can't even. I don't even know if you could even solve or address my problem.
Talk to
I
me.
just need to see that small nuance.
That's it.
Right. You
Yep.
better be having a jacket on. Okay, now I'm a little calmer. I'm speaking this a little with somebody, who quote unquote have a little bit more autonomy that can make some decisions. Man, you could be speaking to somebody like.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you who you're speaking to. Somebody who don't know what's going on.
Right.
The person you was talking to know exactly what's going on.
Right.
They just coming out to say, "All right, cool, give them a free meal," or you know what I mean? Like,
But
they don't know what's going on.
But their position is necessary.
It's not. Without question.
Necessary.
To the psychological aspect of trying to calm down
Business
someone,
to everybody.
without question.
That-
But you better come looking the part.
Exact right. You
come out here looking like a joker. You
Right.
come out looking worse than that person.
Right. See what you just said? A joker. I haven't even opened my mouth yet.
It's
professional look.
but this is all business.
Yep.
It's all business.
Yep.
So when we talk about what's professional, clearly you got to talk about industry. It's breaking down by industry, of course, but
Sure.
I think a common layer. Again, I like to find like just a common layer so we can kind of find some sort of commonalities to bring the conversation together. Right? Is customer service, to the ability to be able to relate to another person in a, I don't want to use the term professional setting, but in a business transactional setting, to the point where things get moved forward. Things aren't being regressive in this business transaction, whether it be at a supermarket, whether it be in a boardroom. We are towing this line because we are being professional to get this business done. And if professional means you not having that tie on in this boardroom, it's taken away from the spirit and the essence of this room getting this business done, then I guess that's professional. I think it's relative to how you're getting business done and how efficient that business is getting done relative to what your position is or your role is in the exchange.
I agree with you somewhat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think you're
right. Border. What are you doing?
You
are being flagrant right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got your stuff like on my, like, what is this?
Hey,
what is this?
This is for us. This is
Okay.
the iPad for us.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
We both use it.
All right. Okay, cool.
What are you looking at?
No, I just think, like, I mean, if you're in the arena, in the boardroom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You all about charting. I got you.
No, I'm just saying, in Rome, you gotta do what the Romans do, right? You know what I mean? This is like, because it's. I never thought of that question till you brought it up, right? And this, I could call out a BS on things now because I haven't. I mean, this is like, I just think the rules the society has cascade down, or even these requirements. Like, I don't need to be in tie in the board.
All created by white men. Let's be very clear.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So we playing a game that ain't.
Yeah. I don't need that. Sorry to cut you off. That corner office that our new mayor so eloquently mentioned. But I'm not even going give that any airtime. But that corner office does not speak to your success.
Mm-hmm.
I could be smarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know
In
what
a
I mean?
cube.
In a cube.
Yep.
Right? It's just like, and it's like
I've seen that. I've seen people making more money, smarter, sitting in the cube outside of that corner office.
most companies right now are scaling down.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't need no corner office right now.
Nah,
Like keep
we
these
hoteling,
jokers.
man.
Yeah, keep these jokers. I mean, at home, right? And when they do come in here for 3 days, like you just said, we're hoteling.
Right.
Whatever.
Right,
I mean, plug and play. No, man, it's a lot of layers, fam. Right? It's a lot of layers. But for me, image is definitely part of it. But I just think it's your actions as well.
I've seen so many qualified, capable candidates come through the front door and never even make it to even a second interview because, for whatever reason, vacations. It's so many. And the cultural aspects are interesting, but whether it be they had braids in their hair at a certain point, or they had yellow fingernails, qualified, capable,
or red hair,
right. The dumbest things.
Yeah, but to flip that, right? You I'm sure you're familiar with the phrase, dressed apart.
Yeah.
But you could have a joker that don't know jack shit, right?
Yeah.
That dressed apart.
That's correct.
That is just, moving through the ranks.
I've seen it time and time. I see it all the time.
All the time. Like, what are we doing here?
And so I if there's anybody watching who always wonders, no, I'm gonna show up with the yellow fingernails and I'm gonna show up. Sure. No. Do that. But just know what game you're playing.
Right, again.
And who created the game and the biases that lie there within. And then ask yourself, am I showing up to conduct business?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether it be an interview, my business in this interview is to get this role.
Yep.
So I want to make sure I do and say and do everything, of course, within my own, moral standards. But I want to make sure I don't take away from this business transaction. And I just want to sometimes ask the question, what is professional? Because I think sometimes we can get it skewed. And I think sometimes we can interpret it in our own right and not consider the forum, the arena.
I think
yes. That's a huge part. That the arena is a huge part.
The arena is a huge part, but the arena, in my view, have some these requirements and these rules that just depending on the arena, you'll have your rules, right? In terms of what's professional, what's not professional, right? I would love it, and this is my utopia. Love it to get to a point where it's just based on the person's actions.
Oh my goodness,
right?
absolutely.
So therefore, I love the fact that George Bush, former President George Bush, right? He had a rule in the White House, right? When you come in the West Wing, you better have a shirt and tie on.
Yep.
Right. You see how I'm sitting right now? No, you need to cross your legs and all that, whatever case may be. He didn't play that. I think, there's a specific standard, depending on the arena. However, I'm sure there are folks that are qualified that can still do the same job,
of course,
that could yield the same results, right?
Of course.
In a T-shirt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen a cool. Speaking of, on what's professional, I seen this post on LinkedIn that cracked me up. Whatever it was, these senior directors or these managers, whatever, they took pictures, full portraits of themselves, with
their Zoom gear on.
Yeah,
I saw that.
And it's like,
loved it. Pajamas, pants
exactly.
on. They
so
came to work that way.
Yeah, right. So that just shows you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, right, really, like, what's professional? For me, it's more of your action.
It's
how
more
you
action.
carry yourself.
I want to say the majority of panel discussions I've either sat on or observed, I've always seemed to have gotten a takeaway, or I've always sort of I've gotten great value out of that panel discussion when it was always that quirky kind of just spiky haired. Sure. I'm gonna do what I want to do, renegade.
Right.
Clearly, I'm on this panel because I know what I'm doing and what I'm talking about.
Sure.
And they just themselves.
And I love it. We just said it. They're in and they're comfortable in their own skin.
They're just genuine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Giving you the answers you want, not these cookie cutter just. Yep. And I appreciate that. And I think there's some space for that even in corporate to allow folks to be a little bit more creative. think your bottom lines might be a little bit affected in a good way.
There's a shift.
You think it's happening?
I know it's happening.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm in these leadership meetings, right? I mean,
Nice.
unfortunately, I need to be where you're at, right? But there's a shift to the point, like you just said. Folks are starting to understand, like, okay, let these folks tap into, their creative spaces a little bit more.
You better.
You know what I mean? Because they've seen the return.
That's right.
During the pandemic.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
Like you just said, it's more advantageous to your bottom line if you let folks just sit in a room and think shit up. Do what I'm sorry, pardon the French. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Do what I'm saying? It's like, no,
it's time.
It's exactly.
It's time employers realize that. If they don't realize that, they're going to be left in the dust. They talk great resignation.
Yeah, well, the shift now is just like the power is with the employee now.
Without question. Without question.
As it should have always been.
But
if anything's good's going to come out of the pandemic.
Listen, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
employees are waking up. Hopefully, Americans will wake up. When you
right. Like,
where the power really lies.
Yeah, can we get... I'm pivoting again, man. Can we get on the same vacation schedule as the Europeans, please?
If the workforce dictates it, it can happen.
Because you know what? You own D9. You're screening. You got folks screening.
That's all they're talking about. Remote work. Yeah. What?
Is
it at least flexible?
Exactly.
That's like the baseline.
The first thing they ask me. Is this a 5-day? Is this a 5-day work week?
Is this 1980 when they used to work 5 days a week?
Right. Because it's not happening right now.
Because that's new.
Right.
New.
And it's not like this is not like for no senior positions. These are like entry level roles
where
mentality's
folks, changing.
Good for them.
Mentality's
good
changing.
For them, man.
Mentality's changing.
Good for them.
I think with that mentality, the idea of what professional
will change as well.
Will change. I definitely think the days of really hard bottom shoes with laces in them, suits, belt buckles, and the ties.
Yep.
I believe that in 20 years that may be a relic. It may be a thing of the past.
It may be, but you know what I fear is I care less. But there's always going to be an element that just takes it too far.
What you mean?
Like somebody's gonna show up in the boardroom,
and that's why you
need mohawk,
and that's why sometimes you need some standards.
Yes, you know what I mean. You already know. Like,
that's why you need some standards.
Come on, bro.
Fam, really?
Like, come on, flip flops. Come on, bro. Now we sitting.
We're trying to close this, right? We're trying to close this $4 million account, and you show up with a yellow mohawk.
Come on, because we relax. The rules here, so you always gonna have one of these, man. But
and I do believe, and New York City taught me this, man. Like, when you got a large group of people, sometimes you need some strict rules in place to keep everybody in line.
Be honest with you.
Sometimes you need some strict enforcement and rules,
especially
to keep everybody.
Especially how dense.
That's right.
How it is, man.
That's right.
Like, come on, man.
You running a company, 500, 600 employees.
Yeah. We have to.
I'm gonna need you to be casual.
Yeah.
Because y'all taking it too far with the open. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, don't let it's
people gonna be people.
Yeah, people gonna be. You just said it.
People are gonna be people.
Gonna be people.
Kiss and Tea podcast episode 20.
Yes, sir. We rocking and rolling.
What does it take? What does it look like? What does professional mean to you? Again, leave some comments in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. Every single like, every single subscription means so much to us.
Yep, we really appreciate
the world. We're trying to build something here, and y'all helping us build it. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, Kiss and Tea, episode 20.
Peace. Let's keep the conversation going.
Peace.
Peace.